Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and welcome to part two of Virtual Coffee and a Card featuring Nature's Harvest stamp set. And this video is pre-recorded since I'm in the Netherlands and I am trying to work with the technology that I have. So we'll see how it goes, and perhaps I will try a live video later to see if it actually works, but I just didn't want to start with technological glitches again. So thank you so much for joining me. And if you just joined me for the first card, I had made a promise. So I'm just going to flip the camera to here. Here we go. So this is the card we'll be making shortly, and it uses the time-worn type embossing folder, which is absolutely lovely. So it has a little bit of script, and then it has a little bit of um, a rough looking, what's the word for that? Kind of not vintage, but yeah, maybe. Yeah. So anyway, really cool looking folder. I love it so much. I love it so much, in fact, that I forgot to take one with from Canada, and I kind of want to have one here too. So there. Sorry, did you hear that cute little chime? That was my alarm, still from Canada. Crazy. So I promised that I would share. This is the first card that we did, and that label, that little olive label, is indeed from the Tasteful Labels dies. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, we can get started with this card. So if you subscribed, if you got the Coffee and a Card kit in the mail, then you have this little package. Now, I'm not allowed to include stamped images, so you would have needed your own little scrap of Very Vanilla. Sometimes we add the scraps in there, and sometimes we forget. So this time it was forgotten, but that's okay. If you don't have vanilla, you could use white. You just need a scrap to stamp your flowers, cut them out. And so we have this piece of Misty Moonlight paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to take those awesome blending brushes. Did you get any yet? They were back ordered for the longest time. They are so soft. I like to rub them on my face. They feel so good. So we're going to take these with, I'm going to use soft suede. So let's open up the soft suede. Oh, and I always like to show off my ring a little bit. Isn't that pretty? It's a very unusual engagement ring, and it is an aquamarine, and it reminds me of the North Sea. So anyway, I couldn't help but do that. That's what we do, right? So I'm just inking up my brush. Start off the edge and then just go like so. And you can go as dark or as light as you want, but it's important to start off the edge so you don't get blobs of color. And this just gives it a bit more, oh, that's the word I was looking for, distressed. Those little patches of distressing, it's really nice. I love old things, so I like vintage china, fabrics, pictures, just about anything really. I'm a sucker for all things vintage. So that's our background done. And now we're going to color our flowers first. Let's go back to the finished card, see? So we're going to cut, I've got this one cut, and then we have, let's have a peek in here. I'm allowed to include die cuts. So we have this pretty branch, which is really nice. We have these flowers, which can be whatever you think they should be. And a lot of people use them, you could leave them white and that would look fine, but I wanted to color them. So we'll see. And then you have a little piece of this vintage lace and some twine, okay? Some linen thread. So we'll move that out of the way. And we'll color our flower, and then we'll leave this one vanilla for a minute so you can see what the difference is. So for the flower, you could use watercolor pencils or you can use blends. I'm using blends for this one. I think that I might have used, let's see, I'm trying to get in my picture. I think I used pencils for the flowers here, and either or works. So do what you want, but either, I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight. So this is the Daffodil Delight Dark. Kind of just going on the outside edges a little bit. I have ordered the pencils because I really do like them. And one of the cards that we're going to be doing later in this series is the with linen paper. And our linen paper is just stunning, but it's nice to use the watercolor pencils on them. So I've ordered those. They should be coming in. We'll see how fast the orders get shipped in the Netherlands. And then you could use a little bit of, I'm going to use a little bit of brown in there. I was even going to say you could use a little bit of pumpkin pie, but it's getting to be fall, so. And then for the top, I'm going to use soft suede again. A little bit dark on the one end. Looks super dark, doesn't it? And then we'll take the light and just drag that color through to the other side. You can see the difference here. And then now there's a line between the two. We don't want that line, so we just go over top of the dark and pull that color in, and you'll see it fade. And it won't be a line anymore. And you don't have to press hard. And then if you want, we can do it here. We can go with the light first. And you can see what the difference is. So we can go light first. And I could even leave it like that. And then, but I won't. Then we're going to go with a little bit of dark just right in the bottom here. But you see how you have a kind of a bold line that you don't want? Now you're going to go over it with the light again and then just pull that dark out a little bit. See how nice that looks? Honestly, it's just so simple. It's wonderful. Okay, a little bit of daffodil again. This just reminds you of fall days, doesn't it? Lovely time of year. Time to start making those cozy comfort foods, soup and warm bread and that kind of thing. Pot roast. I know. I do love to cook as much as I like to make cards. I'm going to do this as well. I'm going to do this. And I decided that I would like to take painting lessons. It's something I've always wanted to learn how to do a little bit better. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in Canada or in the Netherlands. I know great artists on both sides of the ocean. And now we're going to use Old Olive. And I want to start with, for some reason, oh no, there, the other one was hiding. I'm going to start with the light on this one. I don't know why. I do usually start with the dark. Sometimes it's good to switch things up a little bit, and maybe I'll just leave the stems light like this. Yeah, I'm switching to dark now, just so you know. And you know what? I should probably zoom in a little bit, and I'm seeing a bit of a shadow, so I'm sorry about that. Let me move the flowers here. There. All right. So now I've got the dark Old Olive, and I'm just going to go on the little veins of the flowers. I find that's a good little cheater trick. There. Here a little bit. And then we'll go in with the, I'm using the fine tip because the leaves aren't as big as you think, and I want a little bit more control. There, that looks nice, doesn't it? Beautiful. Coloring I find to be so therapeutic. It just kind of slows you down. Your breathing slows down. I find that when I offer it in a class, people just get quiet and introspective. And I think it's good for you. Now, mind you, some people feel stressed out coloring, and I think one of the reasons for that is that people have a hard time deciding which colors to use. So you can get your inspiration from our pattern paper. That works well. Get your inspiration from the catalog. It's great to get ideas there. So what I did was, I've got this piece now. You kind of want to arrange your elements in a little bit of a bouquet. How do you want them? And then I want my little branch in the background, like so, and then the flowers. But you see how that's just too stark, the white, at least I think it is. So I'm going to add some color. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use Fresh Freesia. That's one of our new colors. So if you have been collecting the blends, then you might want to get these. All the blends are available in our new in colors. So I'm just coloring, I'm going with the light first. And I think that the card that I did was Highland Heather, but I wanted to see what the Freesia would look like. We'll just do one and see. And if I don't like it, I'll go and get Highland Heather, but I wanted to try this. I'm just going over it. And then we'll see what it looks like. I'm going to put it on the card and see. It might be too fresh. Fresh Freesia. Pardon the pun. I did not do that on purpose. Well, it's not bad. Well, let's do the stem, and we're going to find out if we really like it or not. I'm using the brush tip because it goes faster. You could also choose to do these dies with paper piecing. So you could cut them out twice, once in Old Olive and once in the color that you wanted to, and then you could just glue the one piece on top of the other. I would cut the flowers off and then just glue them to the stems. That'd be the easiest way. We are actually going to do something like that in another card later on in this series. So I will be doing this series for the rest of the month. So join me at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 4 p.m. in Europe, in Holland anyway. And then you can create with me, and then you can decide whether this is a stamp set that you like or need. You know, that Freesia actually looks nice. I think I'm going to stick with the Freesia and be committed to it. It would look nice just with that flower, I think. So there we go. This is one of the blends where the lighter version looks totally different than the dark. There. This grid paper is wonderful for using as a base. And did you know that it's also in the catalog? It's not just for demonstrators. You can get yourself a pack and it will last you a very, very long time. I used to use it all, like for my classes, until it got messed up with glue. You can reuse it for a long time, and it guards your work surface. It helps you measure things. It helps you stamp straight. There's a lot of great reasons for grid paper. Now, another story. If you look carefully at this here, you can see that it's a little bit glossy. I used Crystal Effects, shimmery Crystal Effects on here, but I don't have them with me in Holland. So what you can do is you can use Wink of Stella, which is a glitter brush, and that will add, let's see, that adds a really nice sparkle. It doesn't give you the gloss, but it will give you a sparkle. And sometimes you just have to look at it in the right light. I'm going to see if I can pick it up and see. Yeah, it does have a sparkle. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. There. It just has to catch the light just right. So there's little ways that you can dress up your card. So what I'm going to do now is put this piece on my card before I build it. And then I'll show you another trick for getting the flowers on. There we go. Line up your card. This piece, the Misty Moonlight, is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, just so you know. And now we're going to use a silicone mat with a little bit of this liquid glue. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Make a little puddle, like so. That should do it. And then take a little sponge wedge, flatten out your puddle, and we're going to start with this long one. And then just daub on the glue. And then it doesn't ooze out everywhere. So now I'm going to pick it up, move this out of the way. This is going to go in the top corner, like so. See? No oozing. It's a fantastic trick. Next, we're going to do the branch. So here we go. Dab, dab. And then I might just pop up the Rudbeckia, the Black-Eyed Susan. Here we go. Get that out of the way. This one's going to go this way, like so. And then the flower is going to go right in between, like so. I'm going to lift it up a little bit, like so. And I think I will pop it up, just because I can. Let me see if I can find my dimensionals. I like the mini ones. They look at the back of this, actually looks quite nice too, doesn't it? It's really soft if you use the back of your flower. Here. But the mini ones are nice because they fit in the little stems. And there. And one more down here. I'm wondering, no, it looks good. I thought I forgot to move a little thing from the back, from in between. But we're good. I don't know, are you guys the type of people that put all your little backings right away into a garbage? Mine kind of just go scattered to the four winds. I'm going to do this like so. And now we're going to take the ribbon. And what I like to do is I like to fray the edges a little bit. So just pull it apart. You want this ribbon to look old. So you don't want it looking perfect on the ends. So just give it a, rough it up a little bit. There. On this side. There. You could even, I'm thinking about this, you could even take your brush and just give it a little bit of a, oh, I like that idea. Look, just distress it a little bit. And now we're just going to take our linen thread, double it up, okay, and then tie it right in the middle around your lace trim. It gets a little tricky. Oh, tying ribbon on bows on camera is really hard. So normally it wouldn't be this hard. Tie it in a knot and then in a bow. And then make sure this piece needs to be cut. That was a loop. I could have cut it right away. There. And then grab your bow firmly in one hand and then pull the lace down like that. And then you can just make it all one. And now I'm going to put some glue dots on the back of it. Let's have a look, see. Here's my glue dots. So uncover the glue dot, give it a good shove, peel it off, and you know what? We're going to do one more. So 2 glue dots on here, and then we're going to put them, you know what? Well, I'll put them up here, but I'm not going to press hard because I should have put my words on first. So here we have, this is the die that came with the stamp set. Let me find it for a minute. And this saying says, sending healing thoughts, may nature's beauty bring peace to your soul. I really love that because I think it's really true. I think that when we're hurting, I know with COVID, it was just so nice to get out in nature and go for a walk. It helped so much to do that. And I think we should just keep doing that. It's just a good idea. So I'm using Memento Black, but you could also use espresso or soft suede if you wanted to make it a little bit of a softer saying. Tap, tap, tap. And hopefully I'll get this straight. Normally at home, I would stamp it and then cut it. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. So now we're going to put a few dimensionals on either side because I'm putting them both, I'm not going to put any in the middle because I want that to span across my flowers. Here we go. I'm really curious to see what you guys think about having a pre-recorded video instead of a live and whether you feel like it makes a big difference or not. Okay, so do let me know that in the comments. I'm just going to slide this towards the bottom. See how there was nothing here in the middle, so it's just on both sides here. I like it a lot, and I'm pretty happy with where my bows are because they're not interfering with the saying at all. And let's have a look. I didn't stamp anything in the inside. We definitely could. And you know what? We'll stamp the other flower just so that you can have a look, see what the difference is. Just a little flower. There we go. A little bit of, maybe we'll even color it. Open it up. Pull off a little bit. That's really pretty. What I like about using the pencils is that you can color with pencils a little bit more quickly and not be as, you know, intentional, like just make it a little quick and really super artsy. But I guess, you know what, you can do the same thing with blends. It doesn't have to be, you know, colored with all kinds of detail. You can go pretty fast. There. And then a little bit of Old Olive. And I might even go with a little bit of, sorry, a little brown in the middle here. And that was darker than I thought. And Old Olive, I want the Old Olive light. And I'm going to use the fine tip. See, it's just nice that your card is also artsy in the inside. So remember, Celebration is still on. You have till September 30th. If you place a $60 order, you can pick out something free. You can go to my blog, thepamperedstamper.com, and you can, oh, I need to add a little bit of yellow here. And you can click on Shop Now. There's, you can go straight to my online store. You can also check out my wonderful selection of tutorials. And yeah, so thank you so much. What do you think of this card? I'm just getting back to my laptop, coming here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun with these cards. I'm going to show you both of them side by side again. And I don't know. Yeah, I guess, you know what? I could show you the ones that are coming up as well. Okay, so stay with me for a minute. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. And so that YouTube, so this is the card we did today. And here it is with Highland Heather instead of Fresh Freesia. Both of them look nice. I would like to see what you do with it, with your color combination. And then here is the card that we did first, this one. So you can see how this flower looks nice in all different colors. And then here it is. Look at this. This is my, I love this card. This is done on linen paper. You can see, and then with gold leafing. And this is with watercolor pencils. This card reminds me of those, you know, when you go to a museum and you see the cross stitch or the tapestries or something, it reminds me of that. So that one's coming up. And then here is a paper piecing one. Isn't that great? So it uses the same background embossing folder, Time Worn Type. It uses the borders, basic borders dies. And I think that's it. All right. Well, thanks so much, guys. I hope to see you next week again. And if my gold leafing comes in, then we can, and my watercolor pencils, then we can do this card next week. And otherwise, we'll do the paper piecing card. So thanks for joining me. It was really nice to have you with me. Have a super day. Bye.